Honest J. Nowak. Oh yeah. A pleasure to meet y'all at last, and welcome back to HJN yet again. And so, let's get started here. Instead of just having a bunch of nuisance coming around, I'm just going to be talking about the art of organization. Now, organization, of course, is a big way to simply bond certain amounts of people together in a way just so they can have teamwork and efforts building up on one another and establish leadership upon one another. This is another big thing around that I seem to get some questions about, asking if I ever got myself organized, does it make my life feel better? I feel like the answer to that is probably dependent on whatever part of life that they happen to be referring to. Now, in terms of organization in general, it's sort of a 50-50 sort of scenario. In a way, this can be good, but it can also raise some problems here and there. Organization may not be for everybody, but it still would be the best thing to try and simply pull off. Whether or not we happen to have a good amount of responsibility, respect, citizenship, or caringness about the whole ordeal of human interactivity, then of course social skills around would be a great way to simply bond another person. And this can, in fact, be very, very important for anyone's future. Of course, I never really wouldn't have gotten through school very easily if organization wouldn't have been on my mind all the time. And then again, considering how I was able to get tons of good grades within the last 3 years of my school years, then well, of course organization wasn't really the only thing I had to put on my mind every single day that I had to go there, but of course it was an important key factor that lied within everything that I had to put together. So, this kind of puzzle that I seem to be pulling off right here, it just so happens that organization, it may only be a quarter piece out of the others, whereas the other three happen to be anything else. Organization would be one of the four pieces that seem to put together one's good mind, whereas the other three would mostly be dependent on three other factors. And this, of course, pretty much depends on what skills you have and what kind of hobbies do you seem to be putting together. Organization would have to be a key piece to them, and the other three could be anything else at all. And the part that just keeps organization in play, no matter what kind of project that you have, no matter what you seem to have in your life, it just seems that organization is always there to keep you pulling yourself together. So this way, you can continue your work and you can continue going through it, no matter what kind of problems may arouse. But somehow, it's probably not meant for everybody, but the way I see it, I don't really seem to have a problem about it. And so, now that I see this whole thing, let's also talk about how organization plays off well. Organization tends to keep a team together, a sports team in which case. Teamwork may be another thing out there, but it's organization that really seems to pull it all together and really tighten up the squeeze. So this, in fact, tends to make the sports team players of all sorts really come together and establish a true strategy to keep up a good game. Any good game that anyone has watched on television recently, regardless of what sport it may be, you could probably tell organization may either be true or false within this whole thing, but it's certainly a good thing to try and catch up on. A really cheesy, yet worthy move to pull off. But now, there's certainly a lot more out there that I'm going to have to work on, so if you want to see more, go down on my channel. Make sure that you like, subscribe, comment, follow me on social media, and stay on the Hollywood side.